It's an absolutely bonkers day in the world of Magic the Gathering. Wizards of the Coast has given us our first look at the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set, and it is pure madness. They've totally lost their minds.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The magic historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. My friends, I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for another glorious installment of Mega Magic News. And today it's all about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is a very strange thing to be saying as the Magic historian. As a boy, I genuinely enjoyed the old 80s cartoon. So I had a little bit of hope when they announced the set that perhaps it might not feel as jarring as Spider-Man, but ultimately it looks like we're going on Spider-Man Ride 2 Electric Turtleoo. Out our spoilers with Heroes in a Half Shell, a very powerful card that is also emblematic of multiple problems that exist with Universe Beyond. So this is 1 green, a red, a black, a blue, and a white for a 5/5 legendary mutant ninja turtle. It has vigilance, menace, trample, and haste. Whenever one or more mutants, ninjas, and or turtles you control deal combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each of those creatures and draw a card. What a wild set of abilities. I don't tap to attack. You have to block me with multiple creatures. Even if you do, I trample over them and I have haste, so I'm coming in swinging right away. And when I connect with you, by the way, I'm putting a +1/+1 on me and anybody else in my crew and drawing a card. That is a lot of value packed into one card. Now, when you look at it from a flavor perspective, you can say, okay, we got the 4 turtles coming in, action pose, that makes sense. The flavor text lines up. When I read they're the world's most fearsome fighting team, it literally puts the cartoon's music in my head. I loved it back in the day. So this, just from a surface level, looks like it's supposed to. It's going to make fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles happy. But on the other side of the coin, it's a big problem in multiple ways. One is the power creep that is evident here. There's 4 turtles. They could have made it 4/4. They made it 5/5 because it needs to be bigger. It has to get in your face. It has to be unavoidable, right? This can't just be, oh, we made this and it's the same or weaker than our pre-existing commanders. We need something that's going to grab you and shake you. And so you have this situation. It's this exact same thing we saw with Spider-Man, where anybody who's not into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but is a fan of ninjas, especially turtles. You're somebody who's been playing, I love turtles. I love turtles. I've always loved them. I've been building a turtle deck for 20 years. I've been waiting for some awesome, epic 5-color turtle lord. Regular turtles, Magic the Gathering turtles. And now you're stuck with these guys as your Ultra Lord, right? So you have this situation where the power level of the cards makes them completely unavoidable and destroys the immersion of people like, yo, I just want to play like a spider deck. You got to get Spider-Man, son. I just want to play a 5-color turtle deck. You got to do it with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is a genuine problem for the game. The idea of trying to draw new people makes perfect sense, but when it comes at this cost where enfranchised players who have been, yo, I've loved your game for decades, collecting all this stuff, and this is unusable garbage. Essentially, it's like, hey, imagine you like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but then they made a card that was like a boot, and it was just, oh, I puked in this boot, but then it said, all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles get +1/+1, and you're like, so if I want to boost up my turtles, I have to play with the puke boot. It's that kind of vibe, right? It's not good for the game overall. And this is just bonkers design, right? So, moving on. We've got Raphael Tag Team Tough. Just illustrating the crazy abilities they're giving these commanders. 2 red and 4. 5/6 menace. Whenever Raphael deals combat damage to a player for the first time each turn, untap all attacking creatures. After this combat phase, there's an additional combat phase. Admittedly, he does have a big casting cost, and he doesn't have haste right out the gate. So you are going to have to do a little bit of maneuvering to really make him work. But think about it with the card we just looked at. Whoa, whoa, coming on in, right? It's just so silly. I do enjoy the flavor concept, right? It says, how about a 5-minute game misconduct for Ruffin, pal? This makes me think about him facing off with Casey Jones, and Casey Jones is one of my favorite characters from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because he's a deranged maniac who will chase jaywalkers down with a hockey stick. It's pretty funny, right? Does feel really, really weird to have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle using a hockey stick to fire a car's tire across a basketball court in New York. All of that inside Magic the Gathering, right? We're spending a lot of time in New York for something that's supposed to not even be on Earth, bro. All right. Next card we're going to look at, Leonardo Worldly Warrior. What if I told you could have a 5/5 double striker for 1 mana? Like, this is bonkers. Just so you know, I am personal friends with the guy who invented Double Strike. And when he invented Double Strike, Wizards went, okay, hold on. We've got to be really cautious with this. So Double Strike first showed up 4 mana for a 2/1 with Double Strike. And now they're like, yo, how about 1 mana for a 5/5 with Double Strike? It costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control. Why didn't they give them affinity for creatures? That's what that ability means. It's confusing to me because they're always looking to save space on cards, and they just went, okay, literally, affinity for creatures is the same thing, but we're not going to do it. So yeah, if you have 6 creatures out, he costs 1 mana. And they can be token creatures. There's tons of ways to cheese creatures out, right? This may not make as huge an impact as standard in like or whatever at the beginning, right? But over time in other formats, actually never mind, this is a commander card. It's not going to be in standard. They got to remember to look at the symbols as well. So the turtle shell symbol is a commander deck. This is not a standard legal card, but this is still bonkers, man, right? Also, pretty straightforward, right? Just straight up, like, I'm coming in Double Strike. There's not a lot of craziness to it in terms of the amount of abilities, just the power that you can get. 1 mana for a 5/5, right? And you can use them as your commander too. Then we've got a very interesting thing that Wizards is doing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this is not a negative. This has nothing to do with Universes Beyond specifically, and everything to do with creating a new cool product for people. So they have something called the Turtle Team Up Box. This has 4 play boosters in it. It has 4 different theme decks in it, so you're going to get one for each of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You're also going to get a villain deck, and the villain deck features a bunch of different villains like Krang, the Rat King, Shredder, and they all have different effects. So see how it says boss here? Whenever a creature the boss's control dies, the heroes lose 1 life. So there's a whole bunch of these different bosses that have different effects that vary how the gameplay goes. So essentially, you can team up with, like, I guess, up to 3 other people and take on the boss deck. But I presume you could theoretically play it 1 player. I guess you could actually run multiple decks if you wanted to, even if the box said not to. But I love products like this. I love a full-on buy it off the shelf. It's like a board game. You get multiple Magic decks. There's an extra mini game included. This is where you actually find value in Magic products nowadays. A lot of Magic products are super overpriced. I don't know the price for this, so I'm not saying that it's well priced. I'm just saying that when it comes to Magic products, ones that offer you 4 decks that you could literally just play as a board game with a bunch of other people, that is a solid product compared to a lot of Magic's offerings, so I'm 100% cool with this. Then we've got mutagen tokens, and we're going to look at somebody who makes mutagen tokens. So mutagen tokens, 1 and tap, sack it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, activate its sorcery speed. They had to include mutagen. Oh no, it turned me into a cow. They had to include mutagen. It feels underwhelming. Like, really, just a +1/+1 counter? You're telling me if I take a grocery store, wait, they don't sell turtles at the grocery store, a pet store turtle, and I pour mutagen on it, that's just +1/+1? I'm sorry, those are giant beefcake turtles, so I don't know, I guess the argument is maybe that made them bigger and then they worked out for their muscles, but it does make things grow, it does mutate, it kind of works. I would have liked something a little crazier, but whatever, right? So now we've got ninjutsu coming back, but as a different variation, right? 2 red and 4 for Raphael's Technique. Oh, he's got different kind of size here. I'm used to the triple prongers. So this is an instant, and it's got Sneak 2, a red and 2. So you can cast a spell for red and 2 if you also return an unblocked attacker you control to your hand. So it's ninjutsu, but for spells, which is, it's an interesting variation of ninjutsu, right? Each player may discard their hand and draw 7 cards. In the middle of my attack phase, I bounce this guy back to my hand, which, I mean, because you do have to discard your hand, it does make the sneak cost bigger, right? You are pitching the card, but it's so nutty that they're like, hey, it's a mini time twister. Yeah, it doesn't shuffle the graveyard back in, but it's a 3 cost instant speed. Like, this is strong, boys. And this isn't standard. See a little turtle head? That means it's in the straight up set. So we're looking at crazy town. Ultimately, the cards they're making are totally nutty. I don't know what's going on with this back. Is it? Oh, never mind. It's his face. You see his face up in the corner? I thought a big mutant mouth was coming off his back. And I'm like, I don't know all the turtle storylines. So does he mutate in one of them? Well, I mean, he's already a mutant, right? Either way, this is a wild concept. Sneak is a crazy new ability. And then we have, first of all, let's talk about the card. So 1 white and 3 for Leonardo Sewer Samurai. 3/3 with Sneak, so same deal. Sneak works for creatures and non-creatures, so it's ultra ninjutsu, right? So he's got double strike, and during your turn, if you can read this, during your turn, you may cast creature spells with power toughness 1 or less from your graveyard. If you cast a spell this way, that creature enters with a finality counter on it. Hi, I'm Luris. Look at me. I'm insane. But what's more insane is the signature right across the text box. Like, I get it, right? They're going, yo, we got the original artist to come back, and he's done these specialized cards. But this, I hate things that obscure rules text. I really do. I wish Wizards of the Coast would stop this. I get that there's like textless cards, and we're supposed to know the rules for our own cards at a certain level, but they crank out so much stuff at such an insane pace that you need to read the cards nowadays. Mero touted that, actually. He was like, it's great now. We make so much magic that you guys complain it's too much, but actually what's going on is it just means it's like it was in the beginning where you don't know what you're playing against. And when you don't know what you're playing against, you need to be able to read the cards. So making the special versions of the cards unreadable is a terrible, terrible choice, especially when you look at the text box and you see this giant space between Sneak and Double Strike. There is perfect room to put that little shredder head and signature in there. Fit it in nicely so you can appreciate the whole thing, right? So for me, that one tweaks me, right? And then, speaking of tweaked, the pizza lands. There's a cycle of these. The pizza lands. So they're all slices of pizza. They have a topping as a mana symbol. And they're ugly. I hate them. The only good news is that these are only available in the pizza bundle and collector booster. So you won't have to see this ugly garbage in regular booster packs. Man, oh man, is this hideous. Look at it. Look at it. I'm going to summon up my crazy elemental beings using my pizza island. Nah, man, I'm going home, Billy. I'm done with this. It's crazy. It's like, for real. And let's talk about this insanity too. 1 white and 3 for Turtles Forever. Search your library and or outside the game for exactly 4 legendary creatures you own with different names. Then reveal those cards. An opponent chooses 2 of them. Put the chosen cards into your hand and shuffle the rest into your library. I feel incredulous when I read this. This is crazy bonkers, right? And remember, I put out a video in the last couple months at least saying Wizards, big change to Commander, and we're going to be getting Commander sideboard stuff going on. You can see more of it coming. If you didn't watch that video, go check it out. It's like big Commander rules change or whatever if you want more information about that. But this is signaling down the same path. Commander's going to be shifting to allow stuff from outside in. It's going to get wild. It is fun that they did this with 4 different turtles from 4 different like variations. You got the old comic book one, you got 2 I don't recognize. Raphael is from the old cartoon, which is like my favorite. The end of the 90s, like the 80s, beginning of the 90s turtles, that tops for me. So those are all the cards that we have to talk about. I lied! I had one more card! Okay, so Splinter the Mentor. I even said we were going to talk about mutagen cards. So a second later I was like, wait a minute. 1 black and 1, 2/2 menace. Whenever Splinter or another non-token creature you control leaves the battlefield, create a mutagen token. And it's got partner, character select. So there's a number of different partners specifically in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set that have character select so they can all team up specifically with each other. I always thought Splinter was really cool. I do not understand, like, I mean, from a power perspective, this 2/2 that gives you a mutagen token every time one of your creatures goes is fantastic. But from an actual, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle flavor perspective, how does he get mutagen tokens when creatures leave the battlefield? I mean, are they trying to tie it into ninjutsu? Are they like ninja stealing mutagen? Is that what's going on? Because it really more reads like when creatures go to the graveyard, he gets mutagen. And I don't think Splitter was like draining people's corpses for green goop. So the flavor on this one is want, right? But I promise you, that is the last card I have to talk about. After looking at what they had to show us, it really does feel like it is a mixed bag. I do like the special kit that they created where you can play against the bosses. That is a genuinely cool concept. I want to see more of that. But the rest of the set has the hallmarks of being another Spider-Man set in terms of size and overall design. Keep in mind that Wizards of the Coast works about 5 years out into the future when it comes to Universe Beyond stuff, or at least that's where it started. They've tightened it up a bit where, for example, the Lord of the Rings set took them longer than the new Bilbo/Hobbit set we're going to be getting. It took them 2 years to get that one together because they already had an arrangement with the company and they probably actually started working on it while Lord of the Rings was still in the mix. So it might have actually taken 3 years. But either way, these processes take a long time. And it looks like the situation with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set is it was created with the same vision that they had for the Spider-Man set. And the Spider-Man set, most likely one of the biggest stumbling blocks for that, if you guys haven't figured it out, is it was intended to be an Aftermath style set to come after the Avengers style set that we are getting in 2026. So it would have gone, here's Thor, here's all the crazy heroes you know, and a little add-on Spider-Man set. But they had to change it at the last minute and go, okay, we got to do something else with this. And now we literally can't release these two sets back to back. Like, if they put out a banger Avenger set and then that Spider-Man garbage, ooh, you don't want those back to back. So Lorwyn got grabbed, thrown into 2026, Spider-Man got thrown into 2025, and we ended up in the mess we're in right now where Spider-Man collector booster boxes have been dumped back onto Amazon at MSRP. And in the current times where collector booster boxes are skyrocketing and going insane for all these different sets, including Edge of Eternities, it got a big bump from what happened with Final Fantasy. The Spider-Man cancellations, the stuff available right now for MSRP, that is a very bad sign for the product. Spider-Man is a failure of a product. There is no question about that, right? Final Fantasy collector boosters are still moving up in price and people are still fighting to get them, whereas Spider-Man collector boosters, people are canceling their orders left, right, and center, getting angry at retailers that won't let them cancel their orders. That's where we're at with Spider-Man. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles really does have the same sort of creation around it. It feels like when you look at the pizza lands that we saw there, the collector numbers for those, and they're only in the special, collector boosters and pizza bundles. So they have a much higher collector number because they're there. But based on the collector number, it shows that the actual set from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will be about the size of the Spider-Man set or only slightly bigger. Now, take into account the fact that we only have some information now, and it might turn out after more information comes out, maybe the set is bigger, but all indicators make it look like we're going to be doing another Spider-Man with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right down to the 5-color Turtle Lord. The similarities between the two sets are very, very striking to me. And honestly, Spider-Man put a crimp in my Magic enthusiasm to a considerable degree. My buddy actually told me he saw the trailer for Spider-Man yesterday. He's like, if I saw that trailer before the pre-release, I would not have gone with you. You're lucky that I did not see that. He was that tweaked about it. So I've actually just been messing around with other games. In fact, the last live stream I did was opening up Wonders of the First. That's over on my live stream channel. If you want to see that, I cracked some fun stuff. I'm looking to get back into being hyped about opening some Magic, but I got to admit, Spider-Man really put a damper on it. At least with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's a property I enjoy, but it really still does feel strange and jarring to have it in Magic the Gathering. I don't know if we're ever going to reach the point where it just feels normal to me for this stuff, right? Because I've been around for like 30 years in Magic, and the first 25, Magic was Magic, and now it's just whatever you want. We'll put a picture of your mom on Yawgmoth if that's what you want. Actually, I would take one of those. Give me Yog Mom. Okay, all right. That's where we're going to leave it off. We're going to leave it off on Yog Mom. Thanks for coming by and hearing what I have to say, my friends. Go check out the stuff on my live stream archive. You know what? As an added little bonus for you, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I'm going to tell you a secret. I made deranged lore. Lore where Urza meets Sonic the Hedgehog. This is not lore you want to show your children, by the way. It is available over on the stream archive. It's called MTG Just Keeps Getting Crazier. It's the most deranged lore that you will ever hear. So, since you made it to the end of the video, as a treat for you, I'll allow you to go and watch that and have a good laugh, because we're having a lot of fun with it. Thanks for coming by, my friends. Big shout out to my channel members and patrons. You guys rule. And I will see you all, my friends, in the next video.